you get a rebuttal?
My question is,
I'm sorry.
with all this affordable housing.
I goofed. Sorry, Mr. Caruso, you didn't get a rebuttal. Sorry.
You know, my friend refers to John F. Kennedy continuously. John F. Kennedy also said that conformity was the enemy of change. And Mr. Finch is a conformist with the political machine. You know, again, a lot of empty promises, a lot of pledges. We've had that for 20 years in this city, and we haven't seen the city move forward. We can do real economic development, real tax relief by being honest to the people of the city.
Thank you. I apologize for me messing up there. Al, if you would, our next question.
So-called affordable housing going on. Who's going to afford to live in all these places downtown? You got the lofts that, you know, starting at $269 for a one-bedroom unit. You know, you're going to have another bunch of empty buildings downtown. Who's going to live there? That's really my concern. I mean, I was born and raised in Bridgeport, and I moved out for 11 years to Stratford. And I've just been back in Bridgeport for 2 years, and I find myself trying to care about the city that I grew up in, but it's really hard, you know, because the focus isn't on the important things. You know, if you want people to move back to Bridgeport, there's an amazing amount of taxes you have to pay to live here. What am I going to see to change? You know, how are you going to attract people back to Bridgeport and actually make this a thriving community?
Mr. Caruso, 60 seconds.
He's right. 98% of the housing currently being built in Bridgeport is not affordable to Bridgeport residents. $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a month rental. My opponent, the leader of Bridgeport Economic Development Corporation, that's brought a lot of housing into the city, knows the fact 98% of the people can't afford it. We've got to look at communities like Atlanta, Georgia, that provides affordable housing to teachers, to police officers, to firefighters. We have to look at building housing that's compatible to the income of the Bridgeport resident, not affordable based on the Westport salary, but based on a Bridgeport salary. And we've got to have at least 30% affordable housing in the city to make it work for the people who live here. Mr. Finch boasts of all the housing and all the great things he's done as a development director. Well, this housing right now is not affordable for the people of the city. It's positioning us as a suburb of other communities. We have to be a leader again, no longer a spectator.
Mr. Finch, please.
I've released all of my plans for affordable housing. I've called for inclusionary zoning of 20%. Stanford has 10%. I think we could double that on any new project to make sure that it's 20% affordable by Bridgeport standards. And you know, you don't have to go far to realize that what my opponent just said is incorrect. Look at the sign in front of the City Trust building. I did it today. The studio apartments start at $650. It's truly affordable housing. It's right downtown. It's smart growth. They're using green renewable energy, something that I would implement citywide in order to save us a lot of money on our taxes. That's one of the 4 ways that I'll pay for the $600 homestead exemption on your home. Renewable energy, selling surplus city property, economic development. And we can do that. But we can't always be saying no, we can't, and being negative about things. We've got to be positive, and I think we can do that together.
Mr. Caruso, 30 seconds.
We've got to be a leader for Bridgeport and Bridgeport residents. That's what we have to be. For too many years, Bridgeport has been overlooked. Shelton, for example, is building its 5th hotel, 6 million square feet of economic development. Stanford building its 6th tower, and Bridgeport doesn't have much to boast. Housing that Bridgeporters can't afford. Mr. Finch speaks about the downtown property. They're looking right now for more funding from the state of Connecticut, and nothing has been completed on those projects.
Mr. Finch, 30 seconds.
Well, there's almost, I think 60 units are already rented in the City Trust building, and people are eager to move in. It's a great sign for downtown Bridgeport. These are working class people that want to live downtown and save the emission of greenhouse gases by not commuting as much, getting on the train. It's a great thing for the state of Connecticut and the city of Bridgeport. I'm very proud to help get the financing for those, for the artist housing, which spurred all of this development in downtown Bridgeport. So it's a great thing for Bridgeport. And again, we've got to stay positive and show people the right way of how to move the city forward by working with the governor and the legislature, which I think I can do better than anyone in the race.
Okay, our next question. Al, if you would.